So now can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, great. Uh, uh, we, we are going to spend some time studying the subject-verb agreement. I don't know if you have any idea or any point about this, but generally, the subject-verb agreement may be the most tested grammatical rule you can find it on the SAT exams. Uh, Therefore, just by mastering this rule and its application, of course, we will be well in our way toward achieving these ridiculous question that you may see in the SAT writing. Um Before we go to the explaining the lesson and the practice, let's see by the end of the lesson what we are going to achieve. Um, or our objectives, I mean. Yes, we are going to understand the subject verb agreement and explain why, how the subject verb agreement question on the SAT can be tricky. I mean, I show you the tricky things, and I after each point we are going to see the strategy that we can follow in order to reach a correctly subject verb agreement questions. And finally, we're going to have some practice questions so we can test or check what we have learned. Okay, before we go, let's first uh, remember or answer this question. What is a subject? Do you know what is a subject in any sentence?
Yes, the person that does the thing.
Yes, it's not the person all the time because sometimes it could be a unconscious thing. So it's you can say it's like the noun which is make the action of the sentence itself. So the subject simply is the noun which corresponds with the verb in a sentence. Make the action itself. So in a sentence where there is an action, so the subject is the noun which is doing this action all the time. Look at this example. Justin saved the word. Justin saved the word. Let me see 1 second, just to see who is there. In this sentence, where is the subject? Justin, that's right. Subject is sorry. Justin here is the subject of the verb. Why? Because of the sentence, because he's the one who made the action of saving. The action here is saving. So in a sentence where there's a description, it means that you find that there is a description for the noun itself. At the same time, also the subject, the thing that follow the verb or precede the verb to be. Like here, Justin is amazingly humble. Here, I don't have an action. I don't have an action verb like the previous one. Here I have something called descriptive sentence because I'm describing something. What I'm describing is the subject. Who is the subject here? Justin, the one who is amazingly humble. The one who is amazingly humble. So sometimes you may find the subject has is making an action, and sometimes you may find the subject the thing or the one who is described in a sentence. Okay. Right. What is the subject verb agreement? Now I have decided know well what means the subject in any sentence. What's the subject verb agreement? Uh, the subject verb agreement is a rule there where the subject and the verb of the sentence should agree together. They should follow each other. What does it mean? This means that if the subject is singular, so the verb should be singular too. But if and the subject it is plural, so the verb should be plural too. You may ask how can I find what the meaning of a plural verb or a singular verb? The plural verb it means that the verbs that follow the plural nouns or plural pronouns, and the singular verb is a verb that follow the singular nouns or singular pronouns. Like this in the here in this sentence, the celebrity chef cook lobster and foie gras. Foie gras it's a kind of the goose livers. This is the foie gras. Let's read the sentence again. The celebrity chef cook lobster and the foie gras. This sentence probably you will see it like it's correct or wrong. Did you find any mistake in this sentence?
Yes.
What is it? What's wrong about cook?
It could be the celebrity chef cook.
Farah, can you just raise your voice a little bit?
It could be the celebrity
Salah.
chef cook.
Good morning, Yusuf.
Yes.
Okay, good morning. So the mistake is in cook. It should be cooks. Why cooks, Farah? Right. Let's break down this sentence. You will find that here, the chef here, celebrity chef here is the subject of this sentence. And is it plural or singular? Is it plural or singular, chef? It is singular. That's right. What about cook here? Cook here here we are in the present simple. This verb here, it is singular or plural?
Plural.
Yes, right. Not because it doesn't have an s, so it's a singular. No, of course. Cook here is plural. It means that it follows the plural nouns or pronouns. So, is there any kind of subject-verb agreement? Do they agree together?
No.
No, of course they do not, because the subject is singular and the verb is plural, so it will not work. So the correct version of the sentence should be, how should it be read? It should be read in this way. The celebrity chef cooks lobster and foie gras. Yusuf, are you following?
Yes, miss, I'm with you.
Yes, do you know what we are speaking about then?
The verb agreement.
Yes,
Active verb agreement.
the subject-verb agreement. That's right.
Subject verb agreement.
Ahmed Shinawi. Ahmed, good morning.
Good morning, miss.
Yes, how are you? Are you following?
Not really الصراحة.
Sorry?
مش قوي.
Okay, we were speaking about the subject-verb agreement. Generally or simply, if the subject of the sentence is singular, so the verb should be singular too. If the subject is plural, so the verb should be plural too. Like in this sentence, we said that here the chef here is singular, and the verb here cooks is singular too, because it's in the present simple, and the verb in the present simple with he, she, or it, for example, we should add ses or ies to the verb. Got it? So that's what we are going to study today. I just want to show you the tricky things that you may see in the set. We are going to learn these tricky things and practice some exercises on them. That's it. Okay? Okay. This is another basic example. Look at this. Okay, Yusuf Isaac, can you read it? Yusuf, you can keep your mics on as long as you don't have noise around you. طيب نغم,
Okay.
can you read it?
Gymnasts perform incredible feats of strength.
Yeah, the gymnast performs incredible feats of strength. Yeah. Is there a mistake in this sentence?
Yes.
Yeah, what is it? Where is the subject first?
Perform.
Where's the subject?
A gymnast.
Yeah, the gymnasts are the subject of this sentence. And where is the action?
Perform.
Yes, perform. So what you said the mistake is perform. Why?
Because it's singular.
Yes, excellent. And the subject is
Plural.
It's plural. So what the correct form should be?
The gymnasts performs incredible feats of strength.
طيب, how it would go in this way? Here, gymnast here is plural.
Performing.
No, wait. Gymnast here is plural already, and perform here is also plural. It doesn't have s to say it's a singular. Got it? Again.
Okay.
This is plural. What about perform? It's a plural too, because this is a present simple. So it's a plural. If it has s, this verb has an s, so it will be singular. Got it?
Got it.
Yes. So do we have still, I ask the question one more, do we have a mistake or an error in this sentence?
No.
No, we don't have. Actually, to be honest, I wrote the sentence in its correct form, but it should be written in its with it mistaken within to discuss it. So this is the mistake. This should be the sentence that you said that it has an error. This way it has an error. Yes, because the gymnast is plural and performs is singular, so they are not matching together. They are not agreeing together. So this is an error, or you have incorrect sentence. This sentence is the corrected one, where the gymnast is plural and perform also is a plural verb. So here in this one, the verb perform relates to the subject gymnast.
Okay.
Right. Sometimes in the SAT, the sentence are intentionally deceptive, and the questions are challenging than the SAT examples. So you find that they intentionally make it deceptive and difficult in some way. So why are these questions are tricky, do you think? Generally, the question related to the subject-verb agreement and the SAT can be difficult because the subject is usually not placed directly in front of the verb. Again, the point why it is tricky, you may read the sentence, but you will not find the subject and the verb are following to each other. You will not find the subject is in front of the verb directly. You will find them separated from each other. And we have studied some sentences where we will find the subject and the verb are separated. Separated by, do you remember what we call this phrase? We have called them this phrase, the relative. Do you remember them? Hello. The interrupting phrases. The problem appears in two ways. The first one is the interrupting phrases, and the second one is the inverted sentence where the subject follows the verb. Today we are going to cover this part, the interrupting phrases. What do you mean of interrupting phrases? Phrases that interrupt the sentence just in the middle, separating the subject from the verb. So the interrupting phrases are phrases that separate the subject from the verb. Such phrases may separate them like, do you remember the non-essential phrase that if we just cut it off or eliminate it from the sentence, so the meaning of the sentence will not change? This is what we meant by the interrupting phrases. Yes. So here it is, like the non-essential clauses. They are phrases described as a noun. They are surrounded by commas. If you remember, we put them between commas, and these clauses can be removed without creating grammatical errors or change the meaning of the sentence itself. Look at this example. My doctor, who is very unfriendly, spoke to me for less than a minute. If we look at here, who is very unfriendly, this is a non-essential phrase. It's a relative clause, and it is put between two commas. If I eliminate it or cross it out of the sentence, look what we will find. If we cross it, what will be left for us is what? My doctor spoke to me for less than a minute. It will look like this. Yes, I'm just reminding you what is the non-essential clause, like a relative. It starts with the relative pronoun, which, who, whose, or where, and in a phrase, it's sometimes we have another thing called a positive. I'm going to remind you later. So the non-essential phrase, if I just eliminate it or get it out of the sentence, like in this one again, what would be left for us? My doctor spoke to me for less than a minute. If I just eliminate it, I will find that the subject will follow or will precede the verb directly. But by adding this non-essential clause, as you can see what happened, we call it interrupting because it interrupted sentence and it separates the subject from the verb. What's tricky here that you have to understand well, where this non-essential clause or phrase, you have to eliminate it, so you will decide if the subject and the verb are agreeing together or not. Are they matching together or not? But sometimes you are deceived by following or deciding that unfriendly and the spoke, suppose the last word here is a noun, so and the spoke, those two words should follow each other. No, just eliminate this non-essential phrase and start to read the sentence again without it. You'll discover now if the subject and the verb are agreeing or not. Okay. Back again to what we are speaking about. We said that we the non-essential clause, like the relative one that starts with which, who, whose, or where, and if we eliminate it, it will not change the meaning or the grammar of the sentence. The appositive, if you remember, they are a non-essential clause, but it doesn't have a verb. The appositive, it's also like the non-essential clause here, relative, but it doesn't have a verb. Like this example, if you remember, we have a study, by the way, before you sitting at home. My doctor, a very unfriendly man, spoke to me for less than a minute. It is the same meaning, but I'm not using one of the relative pronouns. So a very unfriendly man is a positive phrase. It doesn't have a verb, and it is non-essential too. What's the meaning of non-essential? It means that if I eliminate it, the meaning of the sentence will not change. Here it's an interrupting phrase. Why? Because it interrupts the sentence and separate the subject from the verb, deceiving you, to let you challenge you to identify where the subject and the verb that should match to each other. So this information or the phrase, this one, a very unfriendly man, that provides information about the doctor, but it is not essential because I can remove it without changing the meaning of the sentence itself. We are still speaking about the appositive. The appositive phrase are replaced again between the subject and the verb to trick you into thinking that a subject is singular or plural. So to make it challenge you to decide if the subject is and the verb are agreeing, if the subject is singular and the verb is singular too or not, the subject is plural and the verb is plural too or not. Right. How will knowing about these phrases help you correctly answer the set questions related to the subject-verb agreement? Let's explain. The non-essential clause and the appositive on the set. These phrases will be placed again between the subject and the verb to trick you into thinking a subject is singular or plural. Look at this example. Omar Isam, are you there? Omar?
Yes.
Yes, can you read the sentence, please? Can you see it? Can you see the sentence?
Which one is?
The one in gray. in the gray box.
My math teacher, who is extremely demanding and yells at all the students, gives too much homework.
Okay, where the subject here?
My math teacher.
And where the verb or the action?
Give.
They are not following each other. They are separated by
Commas.
yes, they are separated by a relative clause who is extremely demanding and yells at all the students. Sometimes some people may be tricked, not you of course, because you are smart, but sometimes the students are tricked by looking at students and give. So they thought that is students and give. This student here is the subject and this is the verb. And the subject and the verb here, they agree because students here is plural and give here is plural too. So they will think that this sentence is correct. So what the mistake here, Farah? May I say sorry? May I change? Ahmed Shinawi. Ahmed Shinawi.
Yes, miss.
Yes. Can you tell me where the error?
Yeah, 1 minute. Who is
Who is the error?
extremely demanding and yells at the students? That sentence, that part of the sentence.
Okay, where is the mistake here? In which part? In this part that you have read, the relative clause, who is extremely demanding and yells at all the students?
Yes.
No, yeah, Ahmed. We said that we are looking for the subject and the verb that they agree together, right?
Yes.
Right. And this sentence, where the subject we said?
My math teacher.
Yes, the teacher. And where the verb?
Give.
Yes, this is the action that this teacher did. Yes. If this sentence has an error, does it have an error?
Yes. The sentence in the middle. Since
No. This sentence is not an error here. This is the relative clause, just given them in the middle. I'm asking about the main one. If I eliminate this part, who is extremely demanding and yells at all the students, what will be left for you?
my math teacher give too much homework.
Great, thank you very much, Type. Now look at the subject and the verb. Do they agree together? Teacher and give. Is there any mistake?
No.
Right. What about Nagam?
It should be gives.
Yeah, that's right. It should be gives. That's right. This is the sentence. The subject here, teacher, is singular, and the verb here, which is give, is plural. It's a plural form. So, and we have here the non-essential clause separating the subject from this verb. So it will be sometimes difficult to locate the error in the subject-verb agreement. But this is how the sentence should be read. It should go in this way. Where should I put it? The teacher, my math teacher, who is extremely demanding and yells at all the students, gives. So now this verb or the that follow this subject teacher is in its singular form. So this is the correct form of the sentence. Ahmed, now did you notice where was the mistake? Ahmed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. In
Right.
give.
So, do we have a strategy that we can follow? Yes, we have a strategy. So, to answer first, we have now a problem we have to avoid. How can we avoid falling into this common trap that the chat will set for you? By putting or interrupting the sentence with one of the non-essential phrase or clause to make it difficult for you to decide whether the verb and the subject are agreeing together or not. Our strategy here is all the time you have to cross out the appositive and the non-essential clause. Whenever you find it, just identify it and try to eliminate it or cross it out. Like this one that we're answering. We cross the non-essential phrase or clause, which is the relative clause, and what is left is my math teacher give too much homework, and I find it there's a mistake because teacher is singular and give is plural. Another type of interrupting phrase too, we have studied first the relative clause and the appositive. These are interrupting phrase. Another type is called the prepositional phrase. Just to remind you what is a prepositional phrase, and we have studied before too, it's a phrase that begins with a preposition. It gives or it modify, if you remember, the noun that it follows, and it all the time answer these questions, which is where, when, or provide descriptive information. This is a table of the some prepositions that you can find it at the beginning of prepositional phrase. Or you can say that the in this short it is commonly used in the prepositional phrase. What about the prepositional phrase in the SAT? They are often inserted between the subject and the verb, as usual, to make errors in the subject-verb agreement less noticeable. Mean that you cannot notice the error between the subject and the verb by interrupting with, the sentence with the prepositional phrase. Take a look at this sentence and tell me, does it have a mistake or not? Yusuf Izzat?
Yes, Miss Fala.
Yes, read the sentence and tell me, does it have an error?
Changes from the new and improved set is going to be
Implemented. Yes, implemented soon. Applied. Yeah, implemented means soon. Yes. We have a SAT exam and they have improved it. So the changes are going to be implemented, mean that it's going to be applied soon.
Changes for the new. I don't know.
Why? Yeah, it's very easy. Simply, do we have here an interrupted phrase or not?
No.
We don't have an interrupted phrase?
No.
Farah, what do you think? Do we have an interrupted phrase here?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we have. Where is it?
For the new and improved SAT.
Yes, for the new and improved SAT. This is a prepositional phrase. It starts with a preposition for. It doesn't have a verb. So this is a prepositional phrase interrupting a sentence. If I eliminate this this non-essential phrase, which is the prepositional, what will be left for us?
Changes is going to be implemented soon.
Yeah, changes is going to be implemented soon. Do we have here an error?
Changes is going to be implemented soon. No.
Okay, Omar Isam, what do you think? Omar Isam.
Yes.
Yes, so what do you think? Do we have a mistake or an error here?
1 second.
Where is the subject, Omar, in this sentence?
The new and improved set.
This is the subject?
I think.
for the new and the improved set. You were not listening to us. Farah just said that this is a non-essential phrase. It's a prepositional phrase, non-essential for the new and the improved set. This is a prepositional phrase. It starts with preposition. It doesn't have a verb. Nagam, where is the subject in this sentence?
Change.
It changes. That's right, it changes. And where the verb?
Going.
Is going. Is going. That's right. Do you think that both of them, do they agree together?
No.
No, why?
Because is a singular and changes is
Yes,
plural.
excellent. Because the changed here is plural and is going here is a singular verb. So they are not matching. So this sentence is incorrect. Can you correct for me, Ahmed Shinawi? Can you correct it?
What, miss?
Can you correct this sentence?
Changes. Uh, uh,
طيب, can I ask you, Yusuf Izzat? Yusuf Izzat, can you correct this sentence?
Yes, I can.
Yes, okay, go on.
Changes are going to be implemented soon.
That's right. The changes are going to be implemented
Are.
soon. Yes, I changed I made the verb agree with the subject. The subject is plural, so the verb is plural too. Okay, we are going to stop here. I think we have another appointment, right? After an hour, I think.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Uh,
I have to run
no,
because
after
huh,
1.5 hour.
okay, I have to run because I have a session in 9. 8 has already started. Okay, thank you, and come back again. Okay, don't run,
Okay.
don't escape.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.